In today's video, we are going to see how to troubleshoot an issue where an ONU connected to a GPON OLT shows Internet not connected or Internet disconnected status. We will also look at the possible reasons for such a disconnection issue and how we can resolve it. Here, what I have taken now is access to a GPON OLT and an ONU connected under that OLT. This ONU is showing Internet disconnected. Maybe similar issues can occur on the customer side as well. For example, suppose we provided a connection to a customer 2 weeks ago. At the time of installation, the Internet was working fine and the customer was able to access it. But after 2 weeks, the customer calls and says that the Internet is not working. When we log into the ONU, it shows the status as disconnected. In such cases, we need to identify the possible reasons and troubleshoot them, which is what we are going to see in this video. First, let's log in to the ONU of the customer who reported the complaint. The ONU I am logging into here is HG323RGWONT. After logging in, go to the WAN Connection Info option. Here, we can see the Internet status. Now it shows down. The VLAN configured here is 101. The first thing we need to check is whether there is any issue with ONU binding or whether the ONU is properly added in the OLT. For that, in the same WAN connection info page, on the left side, there is an option called GPON information. Since this ONU is connected to a GPON OLT, it shows GPON information. If it was EPON, it would show EPON information. Click on that option. In the Connection Info section, we can check whether the ONU is registered in the OLT. Before that, we can also check the LED status on the ONU. There is a PON LED. Check whether it is blinking or stable. If it is blinking, it means it is not registered. If it is stable, it means it is registered successfully. Next, go back to the ONU and verify whether the username and password are correct. For example, if it is a BSNL ISP, there is an option called BB test. Replace the current username and password with BBTST and password BSNLMP and check whether it comes up. If BB test works, it means there is an issue with the original username or password. If BB test also does not work, then we need to check OLT configurations. So first check VLAN duplication, then verify username and password. If everything is correct and still the ONU shows disconnected, then we need to check OLT configurations. Now let's go to OLT configuration. First, check whether VLAN 101 is created. We can see that VLAN 101 is created and assigned to uplink port G3. Also verify whether VLAN 101 is tagged on port G3. It is correctly tagged. Since this is a GPON OLT, we only need to assign VLANs on uplink ports, not on PON ports. Also, from the MAC table, we can confirm that VLAN 101 is being received on port G3. So the ISP is sending the VLAN correctly. Now let's check ONU configuration in the OLT. The ONU is already added and online. Click on Config. Here we check TCONT, GEM port, and service binding. TCONT and GEM port are correct, but in the service section, there is a mistake. The ONU is configured with VLAN 101, but the line profile assigned here only includes VLANs from 112 to 123. So VLAN 101 is not included in the profile. This is the issue. The wrong line profile has been assigned. To fix this, go to Profile Configuration Bind Profile. Click on Config for this customer. In the Line Profile drop-down, select a profile that includes VLAN 101. If not available, create one or bind manually. Here, I already have a profile that includes VLANs 100 to 111, so I select that. Then click Commit and OK. Now go back and check binding again. TCONT, GEM port, and service are correctly updated. But still WAN shows disconnected. Next, verify whether the selected line profile is correctly configured. Go to line profile and click Detail and Modify. TCONT and GEM port are correct. VLAN range is correctly set from 100 to 111. Note: using comma instead of hyphen would be wrong. Now check service port. Here we see a mistake. VLAN 101 has an extra digit error, while others are correct. That is the issue. We cannot edit the profile directly since it is in use. So instead, we remove and re-add the ONU. Note the MAC or serial number. Delete the ONU from the PON port and add it again. After re-adding, go to Config. Now binding is empty. Reconfigure TCONT, GEM port, and service manually. Enter VLAN 101 correctly and commit. Then configure service port with VLAN 101 properly and commit. Also set port VLAN, eth port 1 and commit. Now refresh WAN status. It shows connected. So in this case, the issue was due to wrong VLAN configuration in the line profile. But issues can vary. Always check VLAN tagging, ONU configuration, and OLT configuration. If everything is correct and still disconnected, we can use dial-up testing. Connect a LAN cable from a free uplink port, example G6, to a computer, assign the VLAN as PWAD, disable isolation, and set up a PPPoA connection on the PC using customer credentials. If it connects, the issue is with ONU. If not, check the error and contact ISP for support. So this is how we can troubleshoot an internet not connected issue.